Hey y'all, stick with me for just a few minutes and I'll show you how to install this battery tender on that Maserati GranTurismo. So the reason that you install these battery tenders on cars or high performance cars or any car really, it doesn't matter, is because some of them, like this car for example, this Dodge Viper, they don't have, they're not grounded very well, right? So the battery slowly drains over time. And that's kind of true of any car that you let sit for a little while. If you just don't drive it often, if you drive it once a week or maybe less than a handful of times, in a week or two period of time, you're gonna have problems starting it. Or the other thing is, depending on how new the car is, you're gonna run into a lot of phantom codes, a lot of things that aren't really real. So for example, you go to start the car, and it starts up, sluggish, and then you have error or warning lights on the dash. That's generally going to be because, at some point while the battery was dipping below its 12.5 or whatever volts, that it sits at normally, it got to 11 or maybe 10 volts or something, and it started, but when it started, it saw, all sorts of low voltage to the sensors or to certain parts of the computer, or maybe it does self-checks while it's sleeping every once in a while. It just depends on the car. When that happens, it throws codes on some of the computers internally. You may not see a warning light on the dash, but if you ever hook a scan tool up to it, like a factory one, for example, I know this is very prevalent in BMWs and Minis, for example, and obviously this Maserati as well. You'll see like, hey, body control module, something was, low voltage here, or there's, not a short, but you'll see it say that it couldn't talk to a certain module or something like that. Maybe a headlight wasn't functioning or something, a motor in there, or maybe a rearview mirror or some other sort of sensor on the network. Most of these newer cars that, or even just high-end, earlier cars, they have tons of computers in them. They've got multiple networks in them. So they're constantly talking to each other and stuff. And long story short, if you undervolt, if the battery just has low voltage, it's just going to cause phantom codes to come up that aren't really real. And if you clear them, they probably won't come back. But putting a battery tender on it's not only going to keep your battery charged up so that when you want to hop in it and drive it, it's going to start immediately and you're not going to run into this problem. So that's kind of the gist of why people do it. It just makes things easy. The one I chose is actually just it's battery tender brand. It's, I think, let me see here, let me show you. 1.25 amps, 6/12 volts, so it's either or. The good thing about these is they work really well for AGM batteries, lead acid, all different kinds of batteries really. So it's not just like limited to a certain type of battery. It'll cover just pretty much anything. Here's a little bit of what we just unboxed. We have these alligator clips. Basically what this does is it's a separate adapter, so to speak. You could hook this up and clip this to like the terminals on a battery if you have one externally that's not in the car, or if it's in the car, you can do it either way. This is really what you're after. This right here, you pop this off, that connects to the end of the terminal here, or cable rather. This is what connects to your battery here, and it's fused. All right, we're gonna pop the trunk on this Maserati, and I'm gonna show you how to hook this thing up. So empty trunk, fold this back, and you're gonna have access to this right here. This is the easiest way. Just put your fingers here and one in the back, pinch them together, pull it off. Really, there's a couple places you could hook this up. You've got your positive here, right, on the battery. You got your negative over here. You can hook it here. This is an empty stud on mine. I don't know that this is empty on every single one of them. I don't honestly remember. That's an option. This, technically this, even here. I don't know that I've messed with any of these really. I guess you could possibly do it there too. But essentially what I think I'm going to do is hook the positive here on this stud, because I have a nut sitting over here on my toolbox. And what is this? That's a 13 millimeter socket and a lock washer. And what I'm going to do is put the terminal over there, put the the nut and the lock washer on, and then also feed the cable over here and do the negative over here. It doesn't really matter, I guess, which one of these you choose, because they're all technically all connected together and they're all going to connect physically to that post, the negative post. We're gonna go ahead and put this in and I'll show you what it looks like. All right, so it's all installed. Very simple process. Right here, we've got it coming off the terminal. It's fused. We fed it through just between the battery here and the box. We've got the battery tender plugged into the wall over there. We've got it plugged into the car and it's powered on right now, or it's charging rather. Very simple process, you know, connects. It's sitting right in here and it's plugged in. Now, obviously, I'm not gonna leave the battery tender box in there. It's probably gonna sit on the floor with the trunk shut. But point is, it's hooked up. It's easy to install. You can see it's extremely simple to hook up. You really can't screw it up. But like I said, the benefits you get from this, you're not gonna have phantom codes. You're not gonna end up having weirdo things pop or lights pop up on the dash, you know, because it's been sitting a while and you go to start it and you're like, I wonder what the problem is. So I think I picked this thing up for about $41 or $43 on Amazon. It's a slow trickle charger. It's 1.25 amps. It's not gonna charge it super fast, but it's gonna get the job done, especially if you let a car sit for more than a week at a time and you just don't drive it as often as you should. This is gonna keep you from having a flat battery and phantom codes. So if you haven't got one, go pick one up. This should be one of the first things you buy when you get this car, or any exotic car or any sports car that, you know, has lots of computers and things in it, because it's gonna keep you from running into these problems. If you liked the video and you thought it was somewhat helpful, obviously it's simple, you know, it's a simple install, but if you liked the video, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe, guys. We'll bring some more stuff to you.